Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I haven't done a video. I'm sorry about that, but as you can see, my surroundings have changed because I moved to London, so it's been a hectic time for me and I had to adjust to city life, so that's why I was very busy and I couldn't do any videos. Now it's spooky season and I have a TBR for you, like almost every year I think I've done one. All these books that I have, I collect them from the local library, and I already read one and I will talk a little bit about that one in particular, but the other ones I'm really interested in reading them and I probably will add some more. So first I want to start with this one. It's The Deep by Nick Cutter. This author is known for the book The Troop that I already had done a review about, and you can look for that one right here, so you'll find deeper review about that one, a deeper review. I don't know what this book talks about, but knowing that it's by Nick Cutter is probably going to be disgusting because that's how The Troop was. It was really gross, but at the same time it was really interesting and was one of my favorite books that I read that year. So I'll read you what it talks about because I haven't read the blurb. I just saw the book on the shelf of the library and I said I have to grab this one. So, a plague is destroying the world's population. The gets makes people forget. First is the small things like where you left your keys, then the not so small things like how to drive, and finally your body forgets how to live. But now an unknown substance with extraordinary power to heal has been discovered in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. Nicknamed Ambrosia, it might just be the miracle cure the world has been praying for. A research lab has been established 8 miles below the sea surface, but all contact with the team has been lost. Dr. Luke Nelson's brother is down there, and as desperation for a cure outweighs common sense, he agrees to descend, perhaps to face an evil blacker than anything he could ever imagine. So it seems like it's a bit science fiction, this book, mixed with horror, and I'm really interested in reading it because I really love The Troop by Nick Cutter, and I hope this is at the same level. I think I've seen some reviews about this book and they weren't praising this one as much as The Troop, but I want to make up my mind about it, so I will figure it out myself after reading it. It's always, as the other one, written very small, so it's going to be an issue for my eyes, but it's going to be fine. I will read it. So this is one, and then I grabbed this one. This is a non-fiction book that I'm really interested in reading. Basically it talks about how LGBTQ plus people are seen from the point of view of filmmakers. As it says, the title is a queer reflection on horror, exploring a multitude of queer experiences from first kisses and coming out to transition and parenthood. This varied and accessible collection leans into the fun of horror but takes its impact seriously. 26 contemporary queer and trans writers reflect on the horror films that shaped them and shook them, from Hitchcock to Halloween to Hereditary. I'm really interested in reading this one because I'm a horror movie lover, as you probably know, because I've done some reviews as well. And of course, when I saw this one, I thought I have to read it. I have to know what it talks about. And I want to know more about the authors and what they have to say about the queer perspective in horror movies. This one is by Joe Vallese. I'll probably make a review about this one after reading it. Let me see what is in the contents. So we have The Exorcist, Jennifer's Body, Hereditary, The Ring and Pet Cemetery, Grace, The Blob, Society, Godzilla, Jaws, The Birds, Candyman, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Blair Witch Project. There are a lot of them, Halloween, and Sleepaway Camp. So it's really interesting. I want to know more about this one and want to see what they have to talk about. Then I grabbed this collection of ghost stories by M.R. James. This is a very old author and I always seen this book around and I was interested in reading it, but I think I confused this author with someone else, the one that wrote The Turn of the Screw, and so because I didn't like the book that much, I never picked it up. But this was a collection, so I thought maybe it would be interesting for the spooky season to read something about ghosts. When I'm doing TBRs, I usually pick whole novels instead of short stories collection, but this time I prefer to do something different and to find two collection of horror stories, and this is one of them. The other one, another collection of horror stories, is Many Bloody Returns by Charlene Harris and Tony L.P. Kellner. As you probably know, Charlene Harris is the author of the True Blood book series. This is a collection of stories about vampires. I don't know many of the authors in this collection, to be honest. I read the first one that was by Charlene Harris and I didn't like it that much, but I'll try with the rest of them and I'll see if it's any good. I wanted something about vampires this year, and so that's why I picked this one up. I grabbed this book that is called Woodworm by Laila Martinez. The house breathes. The house contains bodies and secrets. A house of women and shadows built from poetry and revenge. And just from this, I thought, oh, this might be interesting. And also the cover art is really good and I liked it, and that's why it caught my attention. If this is good, I will probably make a review about this one as well. Then, The Night House by John Esbo. I think this is the latest book that he released, and also the first horror novel that he writes. I'll read you what he talks about. In the wake of his parents' tragic deaths, 14 years old Richard Hewlett had been sent to live with his aunt and uncle in the remote town of Ballantine. Richard quickly earns a reputation as an outcast, and when a classmate named Tom goes missing, everyone suspects the new hungry boy is responsible. No one believes him when he says that the telephone booth out by the edge of the woods sucked Tom into the receiver like something out of a horror movie. No one that is except Karen, a fellow outsider who encourages Richard to pursue clues the police refuse to investigate. He traces the number from the phone booth to an abandoned house in the woods. There he catches a glimpse of a terrifying face in the window, and then the voices start. This looks very interesting, and considering it's really big, the writing, it's really good for my eyes, so I won't go blind reading this one. It's my first John Esbo book that I read. It looks very interesting, and also the cover art is beautiful. I mean, I love it. And now they're doing a paperback of this one, and I've seen the cover art and it looks good, that one as well. It reminds me of Richard Mason Hell House. And last but not least, I grabbed Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Coe. This is the book that I read, and I read it very quickly because it's very short. It's like I think 120 pages or something like that. Basically it talks about a group of people that goes into a haunted Japanese house, like a mansion actually, and they are there because two of them have to get married. The bride especially wanted to get married into a haunted house for some reason, but what they don't know is that the thing that is haunting this house is a bride herself, and she has been buried alive in the house. So when they're here, they start drinking, and you already know there are some weird dynamics between them because there are some issues. Some of them were former partners, some of them were friends. There have been like arguments and things like this also because of this wedding, and you can tell that some of them don't like each other, and little by little things start to unravel into a horror they didn't expect. So what I have to say about this book: the story is interesting. I read it all at once, so I kind of liked it, but one thing that I don't like about this book is the writing. In my opinion, the writing of this author is a bit weird. There are some moments when they try to do metaphors and similes, but they're really unnerving because you have to stop to understand what they're trying to say. That was a bit upsetting when I was reading it. I mean, the story is good, and you can make up your own mind about it. I had probably great expectations about this book, and unfortunately it was a bit of a disappointment. There is a lot of Japanese culture in this book, and given I love Japanese culture, that was a must for me, so that's why I wanted to read this book so much. but eventually I didn't like it as much as I expected. I don't know, it's like 6.5 out of 10. Read it yourself, because I mean, maybe you will like it. That's all I can tell you about this book. So this is going to be a short video. Maybe I will do another one if I manage to find the time to do that, and hopefully will be Halloween related or something like that. I haven't decided yet what are my plans for the following videos that I will do, but I want to start doing videos again because I stopped, unfortunately, and I was trying to do one per month, but things happen. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumb up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I appreciate everything that you do. If you want to leave a comment down below, if you want to leave some recommendation for the spooky season, or if you have opinions about these books, just leave them in the comment section down below, and I will see you to the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.